What's up guys, Lightning Arrow is with the current meta considered a tier 1 skill, meaning that it is among the best abilities in the game. One could even go so far as to say that it is shockingly good. Anyway, this build is viable for both softcore and hardcore gameplay. It has excellent clear speed and great defensive utility. And it can deal with the highest level of maps and Atziri. For defenses, this build makes use of a high amount of life, evasion, the acrobatics keystone, and a defensive cast when damage taken setup. The build further utilizes 7 frenzy charges and 3 power charges to significantly increase the damage, attack speed, and the critical strike chains of the build. Your main damage setup consists of lightning arrow, faster attacks, greater multiple projectiles, chain, weapon elemental damage, and physical projectile attack damage. For single target damage you will need blast rain, faster attacks, physical projectile attack damage, weapon elemental damage, concentrated effect, and critical hit damage. And to effectively apply your curse and generate power charges you need to link split arrow, chain, curse on hit, and assassin's mark. To improve the defenses of the build, I recommend that you link cast when damage taken, immortal call, increased duration, and ice golem. With this you will, whenever you take a big chunk of damage, automatically cast Immortal Call and become immune to physical damage for about half a second, and this may not sound like much, but it makes a significant difference as it stops a potential one-shot from happening. Besides that, it summons your Ice Golem for you, so you don't have to do this manually all the time by yourself. Long live laziness. Finally, to improve the damage of your build, I suggest linking Ball Haste with increased duration. In the remaining slots you need to add in Hatred for a major damage boost to the build, and Herald of Ice or Arctic Armor if you prefer a more defensive oriented setup. If you prefer, you can also decide to swap out increased duration for Blink Arrow for more mobility. In order to use Lightning Arrow, your character needs to reach level 12 and complete the quest The Siren's Cadence, the one where you have to kill Merveil in Act 1. Before that, I recommend using Split Arrow linked with added fire damage and faster attacks to level with. If you're interested in spending a bit of currency on cheap leveling items, you can also greatly speed up the leveling process by buying yourself the unique Stormcloud bow. Then when you reach level 32, buy yourself a Death's Harp and use that until you reach maps. As for the skill tree, it doesn't matter too much where you go first. The only thing I'd suggest is to pick up Essence Sap as soon as possible, as this will help you sustain the mana cost of your attacks. Later on in the game you then need to spec out of these and pick up the 2 life and mana regen nodes near the duelist instead. The reason being that Essence Sap is much better early on in the game before you actually start to deal a lot of damage. After that the mana and life leech nodes becomes better. Also, before you pick up acrobatics, make sure that you are primarily using evasion based gear, as the keystone halves your armor and energy shield values. Finally, I recommend that you save the critical strike nodes for later on in the game, as they aren't that efficient early on. And if you're looking for a more step-for-step approach to spending your skill points while leveling, then make sure to check the leveling skill tree templates I've listed in the forum build guide. The link is in the description of the video. And as for the Ascendancy class, for this build we're going with the Raider. Here you need to pick up Way of the Poacher, Rapid Assault, and finally Avatar of the Chase. This setup will grant you a ton of extra damage, survivability, and the ability to generate frenzy charges without any other investment. As for the bandits, you need to help Oak on normal, kill them all in cruel, and help Kraton on merciless difficulty. When it comes to your gear, you primarily need to look for affixes such as added flat physical damage to attacks, increased attack speed, life and evasion to make yourself more durable, and of course enough elemental resistances so you can be capped at 75% in merciless. It's also important to note that when it comes to improving the damage of your build, the bow is by far the most important piece of equipment, and for this build you optimally, at least for endgame, need to look for a Harbinger bow with high physical damage, attack speed, and critical strike chains. And it should be said that to cover your intelligence and strength requirements of your skill gems and gear, try to get a bit of those attributes on the gear you craft or buy as well. When it comes to unique items, there are only 3 items I recommend for this build, and keep in mind that none of them are required though. The first is the Rat's Nest helmet. This helmet will provide you with a nice boost to evasion, crit chains, attack and movement speed. The second item is the Lightning Coil armor. Not only does it grant life and evasion, but more importantly it allows you to mitigate 30% of incoming physical damage as lightning damage, which then in turn is mitigated by your lightning resistances, thus making you significantly tankier. I really recommend this item. The third and final item is the Maligaro's Virtuosity Gloves, primarily as these provide you with a high amount of extra critical strike chains and multiplier, thus greatly increasing your damage. Finally, when it comes to duels, I recommend looking for a mix of the following affixes: increased maximum life, increased crit multi, increased physical damage, increased attack speed, and increased strength and intelligence depending on what you need. As for flasks, I recommend 2 Divine Life Flasks of Staunching, 1 Ample Jade Flask of Reflexes, a Basalt Flask, and an Ample Quicksilver Flask of Warding to help protect you against curses. And that's it, guys. Make sure to check the forum guide for more details and for future updates to the build. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments section or in the forum post. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the content. Thank you for watching, and bros, do you even nerd?